Receiver is a boring game, and is little more than just a tech demo. Developed for the 7-day first-person shooter challenge event back in 2012, Receiver was the result from one of the teams participating. Later on, it was released as a full-fledged game. The result is not mentionable, really. The core gimmick is that the game demonstrates the complexities of operating a firearm.
What, like guns that fire shot?
You walk around, trying to collect audio tapes in a randomly generated map, whilst being hunted by flying zappy robots and stationary turrets. Your only tool to defend yourself is your gun, which you must learn how to operate effectively and efficiently to proceed onto the deeper sides of the map. While the premise sounds simple enough to enjoy, the product itself is just very lackluster. The gameplay just doesn't have any meat to it. It's all focused around using your gun. While it's interesting to start off as a complete scrub, not even knowing how to pull the slide back on a gun, let alone figure out how to use the trigger, it's the only thing the game has going for it. It's really as if it was all designed just for gun nuts to jerk off to their supreme knowledge of steel in hand. It'll all be frustrating at first, but with how the game was designed, which was intuitively designed by the way, you'll start to feel more comfortable with handling the device. Eventually you'll be switching mags in and out, cocking back, popping off, and you'll start to feel really good about how far you've come and how much better you are at the controls. It's surreal in a sense that you're being trained without being instructed. But that doesn't change much of the fact that the rest of the game is completely shallow. It tries to run off the minimalism of everything else and only just focuses on the player interaction with his only tool. While it's a unique premise, it's one that falls short completely. There is a story, but it's nothing more than just some meta, you're the player, who's the character, who is you, boring babble. You'll forget it in an instant. Graphically, the game is centered on its basic presentation. It's obvious enough to spot out enemies as they contrast very well with the dim and single-colored backgrounds available. The game does well to distinguish what is important to you and what is not. Bullets on the ground? Nice, shiny, and golden. Bathtub in the washroom? Same base shit as the rest, move on. It's solid art direction that makes you get engrossed in the odd world you're involved in. The game consists of one track, but it's important as the song is dynamic. It gains layers the closer you are to danger, as a warning sign that you need to tread carefully. And you'll really be needing that because good fucking luck hearing any of the enemies. You're liable to just get shot and killed because you didn't hear the turret spinning. Not for lack of seeing it, but for lack of being able to hear it. There's one insanely annoying bug, which involves loading new sections of the map. When you cross over to a new part, there's usually a loading skip, and the chance of dying because of it is all too high. I'm sure many a run has been stopped by this atrocious issue. And even if not, it's just annoying as fuck. Receiver just isn't a game holding any charm for me. By now, we also have better tech games available to mess around with gunplay, so it hardly seems worth mentioning anymore. I noticed many reviewers only focused on the gun mechanics and nothing else. But I don't view my games like that. The whole package here is empty. You're better off focusing your attention elsewhere. This is an audio tape you don't want your cassette player to touch.
In either case, please take a moment to confirm that the firearm you have been issued is in working order and contains one full magazine.
Ooh, slide it back! Check it out!